Most horror movies end with good triumphing over evil, but these 8 films dare to show us what happens when demons actually win. These aren't just Pyrrhic victories or ambiguous endings. These are complete demonic triumphs where supernatural evil achieves its goals and innocent people pay the ultimate price. What makes these demonic victories so disturbing is how they subvert our expectations of horror movie endings. Instead of final girls surviving or priests saving the day, these films show us the terrifying reality of what happens when ancient evil proves more potent than human resistance. But here's what'll keep you watching. I'm saving the most devastating demonic victory for last. This film doesn't just show evil winning, it shows how demonic corruption can transform innocent victims into willing servants of Satan, proving that sometimes the most horrifying ending is when the victim chooses evil. Before we explore these demonic victories, if you're ready to discover how supernatural evil can triumph over human goodness, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps us continue analyzing horror's darkest endings. Movie 1, Hereditary, 2018. King Paimon's perfect possession. The demon, King Paimon, one of the most powerful demons in Hell's hierarchy, is described as a great king who commands 200 legions of demons. This ancient entity requires a male human host to manifest in our world. How the demon won. Paimon executed a multi-generational plan spanning decades. The demon worked through Annie's mother, Ellen, and a cult of worshippers to manipulate the Graham family's genetics and circumstances. Paimon orchestrated Charlie's death to traumatize the family, then used their grief and guilt to systematically eliminate Annie and Steve, leaving Peter as the perfect vulnerable male host. The ending? After Annie decapitates herself under Paimon's influence and Steve burns to death, Peter jumps from the treehouse window. Instead of dying, Peter's body becomes Paimon's vessel. The film ends with the demon being crowned by his cult in the treehouse, with Peter's consciousness completely overridden by one of Hell's kings. Paimon achieved total victory, a permanent human host, and a cult to serve him. Movie 2, The Witch, 2015. Satan's ultimate corruption. The demon, Satan himself, appearing as a well-dressed man who offers Thomasin a contract for her soul. The devil represents the ultimate supernatural evil, seeking to corrupt innocence and claim human souls. How the demon won. Satan systematically destroyed Thomasin's Puritan family through supernatural means. The devil used witches to kill baby Samuel, corrupt the twins, Mercy and Jonas, and drive Caleb to his death. He then manipulated the family's religious paranoia to make them turn on each other, with William dying in an accident and Catherine blaming Thomasin for everything. The ending, completely isolated and facing death or madness, Thomasin encounters Satan in the forest. Instead of resisting, she willingly signs her name in his book, surrendering her soul in exchange for power and freedom. The film ends with Thomasin joining a coven of witches, laughing ecstatically as she levitates into the night sky. Satan achieved the ultimate victory, not just claiming a soul, but convincing his victim to choose damnation willingly. Movie 3, Paranormal Activity, 2007. The generational demon's victory. The demon, an unnamed ancient demonic entity that has been attached to Katie since childhood. This demon feeds on fear and seeks to possess human hosts, continuing its supernatural campaign. How the demon won. The demon exploited Katie's childhood experiences of the supernatural and her relationship with Micah to increase its influence gradually. The entity used the couple's attempts to document and understand the haunting as opportunities to strengthen its hold over Katie. Every night, the demon's power grew stronger, while Katie became more vulnerable and isolated. The ending. The demon successfully possesses Katie completely. Under its control, she kills Micah and then disappears with the entity, presumably to continue its supernatural campaign elsewhere. The final shot shows Katie's possessed body standing over Micah's corpse before she vanishes. The demon achieved its goal, a permanent human host, and the elimination of anyone who might interfere with its plans. Movie 4, The Taking of Deborah Logan, 2014. Lamashtu's Ancient Hunger. The demon, Lamashtu, an ancient Mesopotamian demon known as the Child Eater. This entity has been consuming children for thousands of years and represents one of humanity's oldest supernatural threats. How the demon won. Lamashtu used Deborah's Alzheimer's disease as perfect camouflage for its gradual possession. The demon slowly took control of the elderly woman's body, while everyone attributed her strange behavior to medical symptoms. By the time anyone realized the supernatural truth, Lamashtu had gained enough power to complete its feeding ritual. The ending. Despite the documentary crew's attempts to stop it, Lamashtu successfully possesses Deborah completely and consumes a young child, satisfying its ancient hunger. The demon achieves its goal while traumatizing everyone who witnessed the event. Deborah's body becomes a permanent vessel for the entity, and the ancient evil remains active and free to claim more victims. Movie 5, Sinister, 2012, Bagul's Endless Cycle. The demon, Bagul, also known as Mr. Boogie, an ancient pagan deity whose name translates to Eater of Children. This demon corrupts children through cursed images and compels them to murder their families before claiming their souls. How the demon won. Bagul used the Cursed Home movies to corrupt the Oswald children, particularly Ashley, gradually. The demon's influence grew stronger each time the family viewed the supernatural images. When Ellison tried to escape by moving away, he unknowingly completed Bagul's ritual by taking the cursed films with him to the new house. The ending. Ashley, thoroughly corrupted by Bagul, drugs her family and then murders them with an axe while filming the act. She then disappears into Bagul's supernatural realm with the other claimed children. The demon successfully continues his cycle, claiming another family's children while creating new cursed footage to trap future victims. Bagul's victory is complete, ensuring his evil will spread to new families. Movie 6, The Blackcoat's Daughter, 2015, Satan's Perfect Servant. The demon, Satan, manifesting through demonic possession at a Catholic boarding school. The devil seeks to claim young souls and create devoted servants to carry out his will. How the demon won. Satan successfully possessed Kat during her isolation at the boarding school, using her loneliness and vulnerability as entry points. The demon gradually corrupted her mind and soul, transforming her from an innocent student into a willing instrument of evil. The ending. Kat, now completely possessed and devoted to Satan, brutally murders the school's staff and other students. She becomes the devil's perfect servant, carrying out ritualistic killings without remorse or hesitation. The film ends with Kat fully embracing her role as Satan's agent. Having been completely transformed from victim to perpetrator, the demon achieved total victory, not just possession, but the creation of a devoted killer who serves evil willingly. Movie 7, Rosemary's Baby, 1968. The Antichrist's birth. The demon, Satan himself, working through a cult of devil worshippers to breed the Antichrist. The devil's goal is to father a child who will bring about the end times and establish his dominion on earth. How the demon won. Satan's cult, led by the Castavets, systematically manipulated Rosemary and Guy Woodhouse. They drugged Rosemary and arranged for Satan to impregnate her during a ritualistic ceremony. When Rosemary became suspicious, the cult isolated her from outside help and convinced her husband to betray her for his acting career. The ending. Despite Rosemary's attempts to escape and protect her child, she ultimately accepts her demon baby and begins caring for it. The film concludes with Rosemary rocking the Antichrist as the cult celebrates its victory. Satan achieved his ultimate goal, the birth of his son on Earth, and the mother's acceptance of her role in raising the child who will bring about humanity's destruction. Movie 8, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, 2016, The Immortal Witch's Revenge. The demon, the supernatural entity inhabiting Jane Doe's corpse, revealed to be an immortal witch seeking revenge against anyone who tries to examine or understand her. This entity represents ancient evil that cannot be killed or contained. How the demon won. The witch used her apparent death as an elaborate trap, luring victims into proximity before systematically killing them. Her supernatural abilities allowed her to manipulate the environment, create deadly phenomena, and eliminate anyone who tried to understand her true nature. The ending. After killing both the father and son coroners, the witch's body is loaded into an ambulance and transported to another location. The final shot shows her toe moving, confirming that the supernatural entity is still active and ready to claim new victims. The witch achieved complete victory, eliminating all threats while positioning herself to continue her campaign of revenge against new victims. Her immortal nature ensures she will never be stopped. And there you have it. 8 horror movies where demons achieved complete and devastating victories. From King Paimon's generational conspiracy to the immortal witch's endless revenge, these films prove that sometimes supernatural evil is too powerful, too patient, or too seductive for human resistance to overcome. What makes these demonic victories so disturbing is how they show different methods of supernatural triumph. Some demons win through careful planning, others through corruption of innocence, and some through sheer unstoppable power. Each victory represents a different nightmare scenario, where evil proves stronger than good. These films remind us that horror at its most effective doesn't always provide comfort or resolution. Sometimes the most honest horror acknowledges that evil can win, innocence can be corrupted, and supernatural forces can prove more potent than human resistance. The lasting impact of these demonic victories lies in how they challenge our assumptions about good and evil, forcing us to consider what we would do when faced with supernatural forces that cannot be defeated. They ask the uncomfortable question, what happens when fighting evil isn't enough? Which of these demonic victories disturbed you the most? Do you think any of these supernatural entities could have been defeated? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more explorations of horror's darkest endings. Remember, sometimes the most terrifying horror comes from realizing that evil doesn't always lose.